Explain the implication of the separation of power. So we need to know the implications of the separation of power, where, as we have said, that the doctrine of separation of power, according to Baron Montesquieu, is a political model where the state is divided into 3 branches, and each branch is independent of the other, with the separate powers and responsibility, in order to prevent one branch from having more powers than the other branches. So we are saying the doctrine of separation of power is about showing the powers of different organs, because when one organ is having more powers, dominate. So they have to indicate the different powers
and the demarcation.
Yes. Now we need to know the implications. So we are going to use the case study of Uganda, where we are saying it creates independence of the 3 organs of government, where we are saying the executive, legislature, and the judiciary are going to be independent, because this doctrine indicates that these organs must have their roles differently. So we are saying it creates independence of the 3 organs, where every organ is going to be independent. The executive has its role, the legislature has its role, so every organ has roles.
So this is what they mean by the
separation of power. Yes. Then it promotes the rule of law, since the powers of each organ are clearly spelled out in the Constitution. It promotes rule of law, that people are going to know that there is rule of law, because in the doctrine of separation of power, every group has different roles. So this will promote the rule of law, that the executive will not interfere in the judiciary, because it knows the doctrine of separation of power. Then it helps to protect the rights and freedom of the citizens of the country, where we are saying freedom of citizens are going to be promoted. How? Like if someone takes someone in court of law over land, and the judiciary decides the case, the executive will not come out direct and say, no, what the judiciary is saying is wrong. No, the judiciary is independent. So that is the doctrine of separation of power. Then it creates a system of checks and balances, where if the executive goes overboard, it is the judiciary that is supposed to come in and say, no, what the president is doing is not right. And in this case, we have been seeing some judges, hard note judges, saying that no, the elections were not fair and fair. Of course, out of 7, one can say that, but is having the right anyway. Then it promotes respect among organs of government, that the executive, because of the doctrine of separation of power, will respect the judiciary. Even if the president wants something to go his way, he will not go direct. He will try to navigate in, maybe use of money, but this will mean that respect is there. Yeah, separation. Yeah, and say that I want this to happen. Then it helps to fasten government activities. Because of the doctrine of separation of power, government activities are going to be fast. The judiciary has roles, legislature, so will not take a lot of time, because we are waiting for the president. Some roles are supposed to be finished by the judiciary, so this will fasten government activities. You don't wait the president in each and everything. Then it distinguishes the different functions of the 3 organs. This discourages conflicts, whereby the doctrine of separation of power distinguishes that the executive must do this, the judiciary must do this, and this makes us believe that people know their functions. Then it prevents a single person or few people from having too much powers. Where we are saying, we are realizing a person or a group of people not have too much powers. Because even if the president is the head of the executive, he has someone to stop him anyway, the judiciary. It prevents a single organ from dominating the others. This doctrine makes us to believe that a single organ cannot dominate others, because the president knows that my power stop here. The judiciary also knows, even the legislature, parliament. So this brings harmony. So we are saying, yes, we are saying that.